Here we go. Here we go. All good and sorted now. So, this is my first look at Tropico 6. The last Tropico game I played was quite some time ago. Tropico 3. It's a bit old, that one, in fact. Still got it on my Steam game, but I'm going to be a bit out of touch with all the updates and everything now. But let's crack right on. There's a really cool thing in Tropico where you can tick a box and it will only play stream safe music. Oh, that's a bit loud, isn't it? Oh, that is a bit loud. Ooh. Please check out your outfit. Well, we've got to see whether we've got some nice Hawaiian clothes. We're going to be a Hawaiian dictator, I think. Gender. We'll go with male. I'm a male. Oh! There we go, right on there. First option. Boom. Hawaiian tourist. I like this game already. Hat. Looking like the Hawaiian tourist as well. I mean, is it just me, isn't it? You know, it's not, doesn't quite have the same pattern, but yeah, we'll go with that. Pacifier. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Cigar or pipe? I look like a pipe smoker, don't I? Okay. I definitely look like a pipe smoker. Pilot shades, yeah, they're the shades I was talking about. Cover up all of your face. Let's be having none of that. Shuttered, wow, that's really GTA 3, that is. Yeah, let's go with the squared. That's what I'm kicking right now. Beard, well, as you can see, I do beards. Goatee, I'm liking it. Goatee it is, so there's no option to have it grey. He's not that old. I think default is kind of the closest to me. I do have the old side part in at the moment. Ethnic type, well, I guess we've got Latino or Latino. Makes sense. You know, he is El Presidente. But if we're going to make it me, then it's got to be Caucasian, right? Oh, beard colours down here. Beard's up there. Beard colours down here. Yep, grey. Grey it is. Well, I'm feeling a bit blue. So, I think we got it right first time, didn't we, with this one? Yep. Secondary colour. Well, I'm wearing some white pants because I think white pants. Silver, beige. They don't have a white up. Light grey. You don't really have. You don't really have the white option here. My earbuds fell out then. Standing up. It's no good. So, yeah, we're going to have to go with the silver cargo pants there. It's very important that you look the bit, right? Now, I've got a grey beard, but brown hair. So let's fix that. Grey hair, there we go, much more appropriate. Just basically like looking in a mirror now. There we go. Yeah, that's basically me. In fact, I've just got to send this to Boomer. He'll appreciate this. Made myself on street in game. See what he has to say about this. Smiley face. Oh yeah, that's basically looking in the mirror right there. Okay. Yeah, he made me an XCOM. He made all of our sort of friends. You know, whenever we make a game, it's just one of those things you're just gonna. You have mastered the art of not standing out in a crowd. Am I apologetic? Charismatic? Corrupt? That's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. Corrupt. I don't mind that. Manipulative. Yeah, that's pretty accurate for me as well. Well, let's just go with default for the moment here. It's palace. It's a nice palace. I don't mind that. I don't think we need to fiddle about too much with that. Oh, well, it's a tutorial. Yeah, let's go do the tutorial. You are El Presidente, the dictator of Tropico, a small but thriving nation located somewhere in the Caribbean Sea.
Hola, Presidente. It is I, your loyal penultimo, with a workout for your mighty brain. A formality, I know, for one of your brilliance.
Yet even a politician savant must stay in practice. Now, I used to play a lot of the SimCity games when I was younger and stuff like that. But I've never really got into the whole being a dictator thing. So I'm up for the challenge here. He has presented a main task, which you need to complete in order to finish the first tutorial lesson. Main tasks are automatically accepted and displayed with a golden icon in the task tracker on the left side of the screen. Aha, there we go. This little exclamation mark down here. The task tracker lists all tasks you receive and displays a short summary, blah blah. The objective of each tutorial lesson is to complete a certain number of tasks. This is the first tutorial task to complete. You will need to complete each tutorial task to finish the lesson, yep. Like the main task, the tutorial tasks pop up automatically and are displayed in the task tracker after accepting them. So, first task, open the task screen and view each current task. Okay. So, task overview. It's going to be this one. Perfect so far, right? As a first step in becoming the world's greatest dictator, it is important that you know how to control the camera so you can admire your nation from different angles. Practice the different ways to control the camera. So, panning the camera around, rotating the camera around, tilting the camera up and down, and zooming in and out. So we pan with WASD. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, WASD, easy enough. Or we can use, you know, if you're a heathen, you can use up, down, left, right. Like, it makes no sense at all. Just feels completely wrong using up, down, left, right there. WASD, all the way. Rotating the camera. Oh, with middle mouse button. Okay. Okay. Now my middle mouse button's actually a bit dodgy on this mouse, so it's maybe not the greatest thing to do. So you hold down middle mouse button for that, and you rotate the camera with this side mouse button there. And tilt the camera up and down, holding down the middle mouse button as well. Okay. And we zoom in with mouse wheel up and mouse wheel down. Excellent. Do you know, I'm used to games where you hold down the right mouse button to tilt the camera. You know, World of Warcraft, stuff like that. When you want to have a better overview, or want to move the camera somewhere else more quickly, that's bad English, isn't it? More quickly? More quickly? That feels terrible. Surely, if you want to move the camera somewhere else quicker, saves a word, doesn't it? More quickly. Archipelago view is the tool for you. You can toggle it directly or automatically when continuing to zoom out. While in Archipelago view, you can pan and rotate the camera as usual, whereas zooming in will toggle Archipelago view off again. Okay. So you go zoom all the way out. See, I know I'm using my mouse button to try and pan around. And so that's going to take a little bit of time to get used to doing it with the middle mouse button. There we go, zoom back in. Now that you've mastered the camera, let's take a look at the ways. Quick clear, yeah, quick clear, definitely. No. Now that you've mastered the camera, let's take a look at the ways to control time. You can pause the game and choose from a different speed setting. I like pause game, like I'm really slow at doing anything in a game. I have to give stuff a proper think, and if you know, like, it's why I can never play like Command and Conquer and stuff like that, because like something happens, you know. StarCraft 2, I'm just there looking at going, I need to have a proper think about this. What's the correct course of action? And by that's done, your entire base has been destroyed. So, pausing the game, first rate, very important. So we need to practice pausing it. Resuming it, setting the game speed to ×4 and setting it to normal. Okay, so it's down there in the bottom. So you can press G to switch between the various speeds there, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. And then obviously you've got the pause button.
I am so proud of you, Presidente. Your control of your Tropico is absolute.
I especially enjoyed marvelling at your palace from so many angles and distances.
Your loyal citizens do whatever you tell them to do, Presidente.
Well, they're generally good for constructing buildings, making and transporting goods, and generally keeping the economy ticking over. Complete all the tutorial tasks. If you want to be the world's greatest dictator, you need to make sure that you have a filled treasury for all necessary expenses. The basic way of making money in Tropico is to produce goods and export them. Well, you know, cigars if you're Cuban. The dock and the Teamster's office are the main drivers of export. Teamsters fetch goods from production buildings and deliver them to the dock. There they are stored until the next freighter arrives. Freighters automatically load and export the goods stored in the dock. Select the Teamster's office and inspect its description tab, and select the dock and inspect its description tab. Okay, so first of all we've got to pan our way over there, right? Whoop! Zoom down just a bit too far there. Okay, so what do we got here? That's a plantation. This is the Teamster's office. Oh, I'm still using right mouse button to try and rotate this. This is not going to end up well. Oh, stop it! Okay, so this is one of these freight ships coming in and picking up the stuff right there. Okay, yeah, there you go. It's loading it and off it pops. Right, so the Teamster's office. Work mode. Okay, so you can just have everything loaded up safely. Oh, we're on ×4 speed here. Let's pause the game. I like to take things slow. Without a Teamster's office, no goods get moved from one place to another. Even with one, don't hold your breath for a swift delivery. Okay, right. Might have to put my other mouse in. It's got a better mouse wheel than this one. It's like it's a pretty expensive mouse. This it's one of those Razer Naga mouse, but I've absolutely smashed the middle mouse button out of this one. We have a bunkhouse. What is the purpose of a bunkhouse? It's a low quality residential building for 6 households. Okay, living quarters, fair enough. Doing these, yeah, shacks. People are poor. Okay, so now we need to select the dock and inspect that. So here's your dock right here. Complete with people. People working at the dock. So you can have regular or you can have sniffer dogs, which decrease the generated crime of the dock by 15%, but decreases the efficiency by 20%. Handles the logistics. Handles the import and export of goods. Yeah, makes sense. We all know what a dock does. Handles the immigration and emigration of people. Decreases the crime safety nearby. On every island in Tropico, a dock provides merchant seamen the facilities to load and unload cargo, a place for stowaways to acquire free travel services, and scoundrels somewhere to sneak and lurk. Those damn scoundrels. The Teamster trucks are already busy transporting corn from your plantation and hides and meat from the ranch to the dock for export. There is also a mine that is producing gold, but it is not connected to the office by road, so they cannot reach it. Buildings that do not produce, temporarily store or receive goods do not require a road connection. So we need to connect the mine to a new road that connects the existing road. Okay. No. Oh. Apparently we have a train as well. Unless that was just the signal for the end of the day, right? So, Mina, we just go in straight up here. Straight north from this office, I guess. So, click on them, yeah, okay. Road. Ah, so it's a simple drag. Oh, okay. So it's not like SimCity where you just do the whole sort of square blocks routine. You know, it goes like up 7 across 1. On this one, the road just goes as close as possible. So there we go. So we build the road. $60 to build the road. It should get them working round here. $60. It's amazing value. Look at that, and you can make it fancy with little side paths and stuff like that. But, you know, that'll do for now. Now that the mine is connected to the road network, the Teamsters will transport the gold to the dock. Makes sense, yeah. Give the rest of the world our gold. That's nice of you. The next freighter will automatically export the gold, earning you money, which is added to your treasury. I'm assuming we're using US dollars. You know, that's what all of these dictators do, right? American money. Every time a freighter arrives, a newsfeed message will display the money earned from the export. So we need to export 50 gold. Okay, so there's the car going off to pick up all the gold, and obviously you've got all the corruption, you know, happening at the docks. So we'll speed this up a bit. Here we go. Take the gold to the dock. Wait for the freighter to turn up. Look at this, we've gone a whole month and we've not even exported any gold yet. They're not in a rush here, are they? They don't believe in doing things fast around here. Oh, we have some movement. Let's get that gold loaded, boys.
Look, a boat. It looks so tiny from here, but I doubt even you could lift it.
It warms Penultimo's heart to see the ships coming to Tropico and taking our goods out into the world. Not that what we make isn't good enough for Tropicons to use, of course. It's just that we make much more money when we sell them to our unsuspecting export partners. Other sources of income come from service buildings and residential buildings. Their profit margin is not as big as from exports, but their revenues are regularly credited to your treasury each month as rent, or directly in the case of visitor fees from service buildings. Construct your first tavern now to provide your citizens with fun and get a little extra income. After confirming the location, construction office workers are sent to the construction site to erect the building. Tenants of residential buildings within the green area displayed around the tavern during placement will take the tavern into account when looking for fun. Okay, so you see we've got this, we've got all the houses. There's our presidential stuff. We don't want a tavern next to the, you know, we don't want the rowdies. I mean, I'm not having it near my palace, no way. We've got more housing round here. Yet more housing down here. So I mean we're looking around here, try and get this whole catchment area right. Go to entertainment. Tavern. Yeah, okay. Visitors must be at least poor. So they've got to, you know, they've got to at least have some money, right? We don't let people in for free. It's not the way we do things here. Beach tavern. Oh, that's a massive catchment area, that is. Look at that. That's covering everything, that is. So you could have it down on the old beach there. Oh, so you're going to force us into, what, like, having it in one of these white tiles here. Oh, okay, you want me to destroy these poor houses that are already here? That's not fair. Poor citizens. What are you going to do? So, does it matter which way round we have it? It looks like it has ways in on both sides, so. They're gonna work away feverishly building this now. I like it. Alright. Some goods can be processed into refined goods that have better export prices. That's the job of industrial buildings in general. You can process the hides from your cattle ranch into leather using a tannery. Instead of bringing them to the dock for export, Teamster trucks will deliver hides to the tannery when it is constructed and connected to the road network. As long as the tannery is staffed and has hides on stock, it will use them to produce leather. So we now need to build a tannery and produce some leather and have all of this, I'm guessing, quite close, well, between the docks and the ranch. So where's our ranch then? What's our ranch? This will be the ranch then, won't it? Here, right here. We've got cows. Yeah, so we're going to build it very close to the cows. Makes sense. Ah, yes, and you can see that's the road coming out, so obviously we want to rotate it, so the road's pointing that way. Right. Right. Directly across from there. Perfect. Job is a good one. Loving it. There we go. So, come on, chop chop. Let's get this built. Don't have all day. We've got cows that need to be slaughtered here. Well, it's looking built to me. So we now have to produce leather. There we go. It's flying.
I knew you would get the hang of this way of issuing orders.
Build stuff to make stuff. Build stuff to move stuff. Then build stuff to export stuff. So that you can stuff your pockets full of money. Money is very important to me, I'm not going to lie to you. Of course, it is the Tropican treasury that is really getting stuffed. Wink,
Making
wink.
money is good, but you know what is better? Making more money.
Can't argue with that. Sound logic. The basic plan is to get things to make things to sell abroad. But every step of the way, there's something you can do just to squeeze that little bit more money out of production. Okay. All produced goods are exported automatically. But there are some basic ways for you to manage your economy to save costs, improve the workflow, and increase your profits. And this is what this lesson is all about. Since you are currently producing leather anyway, you can commit to a leather trade route to get a better price for a certain export volume. You cannot fail a trade route, and you have unlimited time to complete it. So, we go to the trade option right here. And we click on leather. So here I'm assuming these are all the other countries who are interested in various products and what they're willing to pay. So, Mexico wishes to have some leather. I always thought Mexico had plenty of cows of their own, but you know, whatever. I'm not gonna argue that fact. So we sign a contract with them. So normally we get $5,400 for every 1,000 units. And if we connect a route directly to them, this will go up by $1,000. And then you simply state how many you're going to provide them. So let's say we're going to provide them with 3,000. Okay, and so, I see. So, right. So when you agree deals with the various countries, so as you can see, if you sign an agreement with some smugglers, this pisses off the British. Okay, yeah. Or is that the Australians? No, the British and the European, maybe that is. It pisses off there. Is that a little EU flag in the top corner? I'm not sure. It's definitely, obviously, a UK flag there. And it annoys some other people. Is that like, what's that, like a Portuguese flag or something? Not quite sure about that one. Ah, okay, this is just allies, allied nations. Ah, right, so this is like the UK flag, and at the top is possibly the American flag, and maybe EU and stuff like that. Okay. I'm getting this. Getting the hang of this. Da, 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 da. With the trade route signed, you want to make sure your tannery has enough hides to keep it from running dry. Makes a lot of sense. You need a lot of cows, right? So let's build an additional cattle ranch. The efficiency of some production buildings depends on certain properties of their location. In other words, you don't want a cattle ranch on a beach. That's, you know, cattle don't like eating sand, right? Makes sense. To help you identify a suitable location, a coloured overlay will indicate the worst locations in red and the best in green. Identify the most suitable location for the new cattle ranch by comparing the resulting efficiency modifier, which is previewed in the construction panel. So, have a ranch where the cattle value is between 90 and 100. Yeah, okay. And then connect the cattle ranch to a road, of course. Oh, don't want to zoom in, I want to zoom out. My dodgy mouse again there. So, construction. Food and resources. Cattle ranch. Okay, so we can see the green area. These are the yellow areas, not so good. So we've got all the lush ground up here. This is very good. Very lush. But I think we want it near our existing cattle ranch, right? And also near the tannery, that makes sense. So we guess we just throw it up next to the existing one. Oh, you can also have various animals. Cattle, sheep, crocodile, pig, llama, goat. Fancy a goat ranch. There we go. So, they need to get this built. And to do that, they're going to need some road. That looks good, right? Not seeing any problems here. Speed the game up a bit. Construction workers certainly can get this built. There we go, we've completed that one off. So, tasks. We need some more tasks. You going to give us some more tasks here? Budget. Every building has 5 budget settings. With the medium budget being the default, that makes a lot of sense. You always got to be a bit conservative, right? The budget of a production building, like the cattle ranch, determines its wages, the attractiveness of its jobs, and its efficiency. So, you know, it's standard economics, right? You pay people more, they're more motivated to work for you. On a cattle ranch, a higher efficiency will lead to higher production of hides and meat. So, set the budget of your cattle ranch to maximum. Check the efficiency tab on the building information panel of the ranch. And wait for the cattle ranches to be fully staffed. Okay, so, yeah, so they might not be staffed if you don't pay them well, right? It's just a shame that employers nowadays don't quite understand this basic concept. So, we click on the ranch. There's the budget, $42. Wow, that is shocking. You don't like your staff here. We'll give them $60. There you go, big money. Big money. And we can set a budget for all the buildings of the same type by holding down the control button and left clicking. Gotcha. Now we'll have a look at the efficiency. 99%, that's a good efficiency. We can have 100. I reckon we could do 100%. But I'm a forgiving dictator, and we can settle on 99% just for the, short term, right? Oh, come back here. Mouse off doing its own thing there, come. Right, okay. I'm liking it. If you have coin to spare, you can purchase building upgrades that permanently improve certain aspects of a building. Install the chrome tanning in a tannery. Although upgrades improve a building, they add to the acquisition costs of a building that you need to overcome before the earnings of a building reach the return of investment. ROIs. Very important for any aspiring dictator. So, we have a look at our tannery. Current budget, $73. Chrome tanning. So it decreases the consumption of hides by 25%. So it's basically, if I've got 10 hides, and I was making, if I've got like 20 cattle and I'm making 10 hides with it, I'll now be able to make 12 hides. And that costs $5,000. So it basically, it makes you more efficient, right? So I click on that. And here we go. Stuff's going on now. There we go. Here's some workers getting stuff done. Okay. If you cannot supply enough hides for the tannery to operate efficiently, you can fire workers to save the cost for wages while reducing the rate in which hides are consumed. It makes sense, I mean, we've all been there where there's like, you're in a job and there's 10 people. Well, in fact, road maintenance is a classic one for that. I mean, I don't know how you've been, but if you're driving through some roadworks and there's 9 people watching one person like dig a hole, you must have seen that. I swear that's all they do. Is just 9 people. Like 3 of them are from health and safety. Going. You can't do it that way. You've got to don't forget your hat. And 3 people from the local council making sure that one person's working. So yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So we need to fire a worker from the tannery and close a worker slot at the tannery because, well, we just don't have the workers here. Okay. So this is what we have here. Faction leader. So we don't want to fire them. That wouldn't be good. So Adrian Munoz, he's on the way to the tannery. He's pretty poor. And we're gonna fire him. I mean, that is harsh, isn't it? And then we click on this and we close the slot with a right click. So now there's only 4 people working, and that's just the job of the dictator, making those tough decisions. And hopefully because of this, the factory will, be a bit more efficient now. Some buildings can operate on different work modes that affect the function of a building. They can improve certain aspects while hindering others, or even change the main purpose of the building entirely. In contrast to upgrades, work modes can be switched at any time, allowing you to react to changing circumstances. So let's inspect the work modes of the buildings involved in your leather export chain to further improve the workflow performance. So switch the dock work mode from sniffer dogs to regular controls, and set both cattle ranches to the humane exploit work mode. So as you can see, that's what the sniffer dogs does. It does make the dock less efficient. So if we switch to regular controls, we'll get a bit more crime. We get some shady people like this guy hanging out, right? And then we need to have a look at our ranches. So you have pasture prohibition. The ranch does not decrease the fertility in its vicinity. Or we can have humane exploit. Okay, so yeah, so pasture prohibition basically means that as you have a pasture, obviously the land around it will get worse for various reasons.
So many ways to juice the fruits of the Tropican economy.
Trade routes for better pay, tweaking supply chains for fun and profit, fire workers to save money, or close job positions for even more Schadenfreude. Not to mention fitting new equipment and changing a building's production orders. Okay.
Your job would be so much easier without the citizens.
It's true.
Perhaps one day we will be able to replace them.
With robots. Robots make everything better, right? Until then, you had better learn how to keep them all happy. Have you ever wondered about the shacks blemishing your tropical paradise? It's true, there are a lot of shacks. Apart from looking shabby, living there does not really make the tenants happy. And you're missing out on the rent revenue. Tropicans build shacks on their own whenever residential buildings with vacant flats are too far away from their workplace. Okay, right. People like to live close to where they work, makes a lot of sense. So, wherever you see a shack, you're seeing people who would rather live in a real residential building at the same location. Okay, so we need to build bunkhouses next to the Fisherman's Wharfs on Volcano Island. You can just overbuild shacks with other buildings, no citizens will be harmed. Well, that's nice. We don't want to... What kind of card game is this? Well, the very kind people at Tropico gave me a key, so I thought, well, you know, I'll play the game. I'm not opposed to strategy games of different types, not just card games. The game is actually out tomorrow, so it's nice to get a sneaky first look at it before its official release, which is good. I think it's available on Steam. So we need to build some bunkhouses. So this is Volcano Island, as you can see. And let's have a look. Fisherman's Wharf. I'm assuming this is the Fisherman's Wharf, right? This thing here. Looks like it's going to have a few... Here we go, Fisherman's Wharf, yeah. Click on it, gives it away. Always thinking there. And where are these shacks then? Where are these shacks? So, let's build some residential stuff. Bunkhouse. Oh, should build mansions for everyone, right? Tenants must be rich or better. So we've got all of this area. All of it. Oh, okay, so we've got 2 Fisherman's Wharfs. Now, do we need to rotate this round? So what did they say? We needed 2 bunkhouses, didn't we? Here we go. Get that built, chop chop. Don't have time for this. Speed this up a bit. They're good, my workers, very efficient. Excelente. Another limiting factor for your citizens is their economic wealth. It defines what they can and can't afford. Residential buildings and service buildings alike have a required economic wealth. The economic wealth: broke, poor, well-off, rich, filthy rich. Can't have filthy rich people. If somebody's filthy rich, you're not giving enough money to me. Is determined by the combined income of a couple and their number of children. Well, children should be working. They shouldn't be at home. So yeah, I'm not going to pay them. Working for free, the kids. What do you think this is? Some kind of democracy? Some kind of place with standards? This is a dictatorship, this. Select a citizen working at one of the fishermen's wharfs. Here we go. So here's the workers. Veronica Serrano. Carlos Vasquez. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. Fajue. Anne Benitez. I already don't like Anne because I'm not a fan of any Liverpool Football Club ex-manager. So anyone called Benitez, out the door as far as I'm concerned. Pablo Serrano. Or Pedro. Pablo and Pedro. Oh, but he's another Benitez. Okay, but let's take a look at Veronica.
That looks nice.
Uneducated. But, you know, you're working as a fisherman, so really what? Or fisherwoman. In this case, what kind of education do you really need catching fish? Apologies to anyone who does do that for a living. So you can bribe them. You can kill them, that's... Arrange an accident. You can arrest them, yep, that's always good for arresting. We like that. Automatically follow this person around. There she is. On the boat. Doing a spot of fishing. Oh, well, she's had enough for the day by the look of things. Decided she's done enough work. Nobody likes my cam position, right? I guess we can move the cam position. Where can we go, though? Where can we go if not top right? Could go top middle. Right? In fact, I'm just too big. I mean, that's just the general thing, right? I just make myself a bit smaller there. In fact, what I should do is just put myself as one of the icons in the game. Just, you know. There we go. There we go. I'm just I'm the broker now in the game, right here. So you got to click on me if you wanna do some banking. Well, yeah. I guess I can stay in the top right, just make myself a bit smaller there. There we go, so you can see the menus. Or we can go up here in the top left. Let's go here. I'm sure people will warn me. There we go. Okay. So there's Veronica. Overall happiness. Citizens always look for jobs and try to find a home. Well, that's good. I don't like to see the citizens slacking off. And try to find a home as close as possible to their workplace. But these are only 2 of 8 aspects for which they strive for satisfaction. Altogether, these 8 aspects determine their overall happiness, which is compared to the happiness in the rest of the Caribbean Sea. This ratio affects decisions like emigrating and joining the rebels, or being a compliant citizen if they are happy. Open the info panel of a fisher and inspect the happiness tab.
May I just squeeze past, please?
Okay, so here's the happiness tab. Overall happiness, food, healthcare, fun, faith. What they think of the house they live in. What they think of the job they're doing. Well, if I was a fisherman, I'd be pretty unhappy. Their liberty. Well, they shouldn't be getting much freedom around me. I won't be allowing that. And the crime safety. Oh, old guy. Walking past all the fish. I'm sure that'll knock him out, the smell of all that fish. he won't survive. Okay. The happiness aspects are updated regularly whenever a citizen feels the urge to have fun. They will then try to find a building that is close by, that they can afford, and which provides a high amount of happiness per visit. So basically the pub. I mean, that's all that matters, right? We don't need any other kind of happiness other than going to the pub and getting on the lash. Disappointments reduce the happiness level. Yeah, okay. If something sad happens to you, it's going to make you less happy. Understandable. Common sense. Crime safety and liberty are different, as they are updated whenever the citizen is spending time at home. If an individual's happiness levels get too low, it could have serious consequences for your citizens. They could become criminals, join the rebels, or even die if the food happiness drops to 0. You know, like if you, for example, you got to eat nothing but salad 7 days a week. Like if all you could ever eat was salad, that would make you pretty unhappy quite quickly. And you'd just be like, I don't want to live in a world where I can only eat salad. I need some meat. It's just how it is in the Caribbean. Everyone likes meat. You know, jerky. Everyone loves the jerky. The fisher you just selected could use a bit of entertainment, so let's construct a building that provides it. Another tavern, I mean, it's perfect. It's the only entertainment you need. A pub. Where are we going to have this pub? So yeah, I mean, the pub pretty much covers the whole of the island. See, there's the one wharf down that corner, and there's the other wharf up there, so We're going to destroy these shacks just to have a pub. Sorry about your house, but we needed a piss up. That looks good. We'll take that. And we have it next to the wharf as well. So it's literally like the fishermen go off, do some fishing. After a hard day's work, they literally just have to stagger 20 yards and they're at the pub. Perfect. I mean, what better day can you have than that? Out there in the hot sun, grab a drink after work, stagger home. Beautiful. Anyway, let's get this built, guys. Chop chop. Sped up time, but not seeing people building here. What's going on? Go on, can we have some construction, please? Here we go. So I guess we've got a ship here. It's come dropped off some goods. And now the goods have been dropped off. We can get this built. Gotcha, you see. You got to wait for the ship to come from the other island with your building materials. Did I play 5? The last one I played was 3. So I'm a little bit behind the time on the old Tropico games. Yeah, I got number 3 on my Steam list. I bought it about a couple of years ago when it was on sale. You know, because it's Steam, everything's on sale, like, at some point. I was just like, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. So, yeah. So I'm a bit out of date, which is why I'm going through the tutorial. With the tavern constructed, it will soon attract workers. Well, of course, because it's a pub. And if you work, you want to go to the pub. And eventually, the fishermen from before will visit it to improve their fun and happiness. Well, if you can't be happy after drinking alcohol, there's something wrong with you, right? You know, we don't need any other forms of entertainment. We just need a place where you can buy a pint. But ruling is not really about catering to the needs of individuals, but rather caring for the people as a whole. That's nice. Statistics, demographics, and average values are your friend, and they are part of the almanac. Let's have a look at what the statistics say about the fun happiness. Open the almanac and inspect the fun happiness on the happiness tab. Okay, so here's the old almanac down here. Overview, and the very first one is happiness levels. Overall happiness 41. That's not a great number. Yeah, I think it is a lot. I mean, it has that SimCity feel right about it, but obviously with the twist of you being a dictator and eventually maybe trying to keep all of the other countries happy is the important one, right? Which is, you don't really get that in SimCity. You know, you don't really get other countries invading you. So how happy they are at food. I mean, if you're a fisherman, food shouldn't be a problem, right? You know, you've got as much fish as you want. Healthcare, okay, yeah. Fun, see, so when the fun level gets low, you just build more pubs. And in fact, if you build enough pubs, then the people shouldn't care about anything else. Like, you just keep them permanently drunk. And they won't care if they've not got enough food, or if they've got a gammy leg or something like that, or they're walking with a limp. You won't care about that if you just keep them drunk all the time. Surely. We've just solved the entire game. Religion. Okay. Citizens with very low faith happiness will not raise families. So you only have kids if you believe in God. Well, I think that's certainly true of the Catholics. You know, every family's got like 12 kids, right? That's racist. Okay, liberty, crime, safety. Cool. Oh, so you click on fun. It shows you a nice graph. Basically, the steady decline of you not doing your job. Revenue from entertainment buildings. Nothing. But we do have 3 entertainment buildings. We have 2 taverns and an opera house in the Caribbean. Well, no wonder we've not been making any money. La! Come on, it's the Caribbean. What? Let's get some football stadiums, soccer stadiums going in there. We don't want cultural stuff like opera houses. Ugh. Yeah, no, that's not my kind of dictatorship. I'm sorry. As you can see in the almanac, not only the single fisher was low on fun, the average fun happiness of all your people combined is also quite low. And they can make their own fun, right? Have babies. That's fun. To find out where exactly fun is lacking and where to construct buildings to provide it, you can consult the Fun Coverage Overlay. You already know it from placing a tavern, but you can also inspect it beforehand to identify residential areas with a low fun coverage. Hint: activate Archipelago View when using the overlay to get a better overview. So we need to open the Fun Coverage Overlay and inspect all 3 islands. So yeah, so we click on the overlay and we pick the one we need here. We need fun quality or fun coverage. Fun coverage. And we zoom out. So there is no fun to be had at the top of the volcano. And especially not on the far side of the volcano. Volcanoes are just inherently not fun. You know, because who wants to be there while hot boiling lava comes chasing you down? Okay, so green is good. So basically, if there's a tavern, everyone's happy. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, okay. And we've got especially a lot of fun going on over here. Or it's just some random forest. I don't know what's going on here. But that looks particularly fun, the side of that cliff. Okay, there's a bit of a drawing on the side of that cliff. Maybe that's what's so entertaining for people. People are just fascinated by this drawing. Right. Fun coverage. There we go. The coverage tells you which residential buildings are close enough to entertainment buildings, which seems to be okay on all 3 islands. Ah, okay. Waterfall Island only has an opera house to provide fun. But most of the people living there cannot afford it. Well, yeah, it's an opera house. Use the quality overlay. It displays the average happiness the tenants received the last time they wanted to have fun. Red means the tenants have a low happiness, which is either because they cannot afford to visit buildings nearby, or that the buildings are too far away, or that the buildings are overburdened by the number of potential visitors. I mean, yeah, my pubs are always going to be packed. Absolutely packed. Build a tavern on Waterfall Island. Again, pubs are just the solution to everything in the world. More pubs. More bars. More places to drink. But none of those trendy wine bars. You know, we don't want to... This is working class. We want people. We don't want to attract the upper class. They can stay off my island paradise. So we need to build a tavern on Waterfall Island. and build a tavern on the centre island. Well, okay, yeah, more taverns. More taverns. Can I have a circus? Oh, we definitely need an arcade. We need a big casino, right? Fast food joints. Wow. I like the way when you place in a tavern it says like must be placed on land. You know, can't be having any old sea taverns. This is not SpongeBob, right? Can't be having our pub underwater. So let's look at this fun quality overlay. Okay, so red is bad. These people are not having fun here. Right. But again, you know, I've got... this is my palace, right? Does this belong to me? No, that's the Opera House. Okay, we'll have a pub right next to the Opera House. Oh, they'll love that. Here we go. Oh, yeah, oh, good. Sneak it in there. Okay. There we go. So, pub. Right opposite the Opera House. And we need another tavern on the main island. There we go. Now we've already got one tavern. Let's have one by the maybe by the beach down here. Everyone likes a nice beach tavern, right? Unless you're forcing me to have it up here. Not within the designated area. But I've already built one over here. Do I have to wait until this first one's built? Let's build this one first. There we go. Now it wants one over here. There you go. Now it'll let me build one over here. So we built it on the plantation because, you know, I'm that kind of guy. Take a bit of plantation.
Keeping everyone happy is impossible, of course. So you have to play the numbers. In brief, you are number 1. I am number 2. And everyone else is way down there somewhere.
Just remember to check the almanac to see how happy everyone is. to lower the budgets of buildings to make them cheaper for people to use. Okay. Or to raise the budgets of buildings to make the workers able to afford nicer things.
We now come to the troubling part of your job. Not everyone knows you are doing such great work.
It's true.
How crazy is that?
People always think they know best, and sometimes you have to be political, which means inventively bribing pressure groups to win those niggling elections. In the previous lesson, you learnt about the overall happiness of your citizens. It feeds into the approval ratings towards you as leader. However, this is mainly determined by their political views. An individual citizen will orient their views towards some of the political factions in Tropico over time. And there are different levels of commitment to a faction, moderate, strong, die-hard, which determine how strongly that faction influences the citizen. Instead of orienting towards a faction, a Tropican can also remain indifferent on certain topics. I think that's pretty much me in a nutshell. Pretty indifferent. Open the information panel of a citizen and inspect their political views. Politics. Is how many capitalists we've got. How many damn commies we've got. Commies. But I am a dictator. I shouldn't have a problem with communists. Militarists. Okay. People who believe we should have a strong army. And the religious nutters. I mean, kind people. And then their level of actual 13 die-hard capitalists. 8 die-hard communists. 7 in the military. I guess they're always fighting in wars and killing themselves off or something. And 17 die-hard religious. Yeah, because they're all busy making babies. Because that's what you do if you're very religious. That's basically your only source of entertainment. Okay, so the religious, they don't like taverns. Well, I've got some bad news for them. Because I love taverns. People in the military, however, they love taverns. They're more taverns the better, as far as they're concerned. Communists also love taverns. I'm starting to take a like to communism. And capitalists apparently, somehow, for some reason, don't like taverns. I mean, I'm not sure I agree with that one. I'm pretty certain capitalists quite like taverns. Okay, yeah, so you can look at the moderate capitalists. Click on one particular.
How are you today?
Check their happiness levels. And they approve of me. They're happy with my particular. They're not having a lot of fun, but you know, you've got a tavern now, so what's the problem? Against, open the almanac and inspect the politics tab. Yeah, I've done that. I've done this. Okay, next task. Thank you very much. So you want to have a good standing with each faction. Okay, yeah. They have opinions on a lot of decisions you will make, like building or demolishing certain buildings. All these factors are listed in politics tab, sure. On top of that, they will approach you directly once in a while with specific tasks, which are called demands. You do not need to accept those if their objectives do not correspond with your vision for Tropico. However, completing them will significantly increase the standing, while not reacting or dismissing a demand will decrease your standing with them. Okay, makes sense. Accept and complete or reject the faction demands.
Do not panic, Presidente, but I bring news of a threat so unthinkable, I cannot even tell you what it is.
The only way we could possibly defend against a danger this mysterious is to fortify. We must be vigilant against those enemies we can neither see nor adequately justify. So in other words, he wants me to spend some of my hard-earned cash building a watchtower. And this will improve our standing. No wrong with having a watchtower. Very important. Question is, where are we going to have this watchtower? I guess on the main island, right? A pirate cove. Oh, I definitely want a pirate cove on my island. A watchtower out on the beach. I guess we got to have like it's got to be out of the way, right? A watchtower. Top of the mountain. Okay. Where can we have this watchtower then? Oh. Top of the rock? No, won't let us have it there. It's not really watching much out here though, is it? I mean, really we should have the watchtower right outside the pub just to shout at the citizens. We're going to have it right next to the docks because basically I don't trust the dock workers. They're up to no good. Ah. Here we go. Let's speed this game up. Come on boys, let's get this built, watchtower built. Chop chop. Here we go. You're doing work there,
Presidente,
lads.
your aid is appreciated. With your help, we'll double our armed forces, redouble our efforts, and halve our expectations.
Sometimes two factions will have a demand at the same time, forcing you to choose sides, even if their request is the same. In this situation, you will always lose standing towards at least the rejected faction. Dismissing a dual demand will anger both. After making the decision, the dual demand will turn into a regular demand. So do we want to help the communists or the religious? Well, the communists, obviously. That goes without saying.
A good leader listens to the people, Presidente. Show you care for your Tropican comrades and win their hearts and souls. Though you do not get to keep them, okay?
Speaking of souls, I'd imagine that El Presidente is looking forward to joining me in heaven, rather than going to the other place. The Good Shepherd looks after the sheep, don't you agree?
More bunkhouses. Definitely. If the standing of a faction gets too low, they will issue an ultimatum, or turn a pending demand into an ultimatum. Ultimatums are time demands, and the last chance you get to keep the faction from starting an escalation. There is nothing to gain from escalations, so try to complete the ultimatum is always the better choice. Your lack of respect for the military is unacceptable. We are on the verge of a coup. Surely you know the risks of getting on the wrong side of the army. Okay, so basically all of these ultimatums are there to get you to spend your money. So you've got to be earning money from the day-to-day workings of your island, and then spend that money keeping people happy. So we need to build 2 bunkhouses. Oh, but we do get $5,000 as a reward. And it avoids a coup. Okay.
The comrades are restless,
So, yeah, let's build some bunkhouses then, I guess. Well, we've just built a pub down here, so we can have some bunkhouses. I'm good with that. Can always use more bunkhouses. Here we go. Get rid of these shacks in the meantime, right? So we've just got to wait for the ship to come in with some goods. There we go. They're getting built now. Whoop! Let's not be zooming out that far.
It is a great day for our comrades. We even had cake to celebrate.
Alas, we do not yet have enough cake for everyone. We must continue to grind the flour of the bourgeois with the sugar of the workers. But we thank you for greasing the baking tray of equality.
Presidente, your aid is appreciated. With your help, we'll double our armed forces, redouble our efforts, and halve our expectations.
Do you remember the political views of citizens? Depending on the standing of the corresponding factions, they determine how much the individual agrees with your government. That, together with the happiness, determines the person's approval. Depending on their level of approval, a citizen will either be for you, against you, or will decide on election day. The percentage of eligible citizens who will vote for you is called your support. You can find more detailed information on your support in the Almanac. Down here, open the Almanac on the Politics tab and inspect the support. Politics. And here's the support, so click on eligible voters. And we can see everyone is, well, yeah, 42 pretty supportive, 11 undecided, and 5 are opposed. And there's a lot of people who are not eligible to vote. That's how I'd just make more people not eligible. That's just the solution to everything, right? So you can click on the people that are opposed to you and have them all shot. Oh, and one of them's a faction leader. Yeah, they definitely need to vanish in a mysterious accident. Every 10 years, the people will ask for elections. So I'm glad it's every 10 years. You don't want it too regularly, right? If you lose now, you lose the game. So if your support is very low, it will be a short-term option to not allow elections. But this will directly affect all of your voters on a personal level, further decreasing their approval for some time. The good thing is, you can decide to hold an election speech in order to sway some of the voters in your favour by using different rhetoric tricks tailored towards the current political situation.
The citizens are demanding elections, Presidente. It seems that they want a choice in how they are ruled. So selfish.
Shall we give them what they want, or shall we make them want what you want? I always want what you want, and you always want what you want. So shouldn't they also want what you want? It is time for your election speech. This is a good opportunity to get undecided voters on your side. Please select the highlights of your speech. So we need more fun in our lives. So we'll have to acknowledge that issue, that we do in fact need more fun, more pubs. Fun happiness does not contribute to the approval of voters for the election. Ah, okay, so part of your speech, you select one of these, so you select fun, and as a result, the fun happiness will not contribute towards the approval. So in other words, you're basically saying we don't need fun. So everyone who is not having much fun will not take that into consideration. Okay. Praise the militarists to temporarily increase their standing. Yes, it's quite low at the moment. Blame a superpower. We don't need to blame anyone right now. We're doing a fine job. Promise improvements. So if we promise improvements to fun, let's go with housing. There we go.
My Tropicans, my people, my children. Your prosperity is my honor. Your solidarity is my faith. And I gracefully accept your love. You are my Tropico. My people, are you bored? Let Presidente entertain you. Oh, is nothing fun anymore? Let Presidente be all the fun you need. You don't enjoy life? Let Presidente enjoy it for you. And as we strive, our efforts are protected by our brave Tropican army. Our fighting men and women give no quarter, and neither do our soldiers. What can you look forward to in the years to come? Better housing, slantier roofs, straighter walls, more transparent windows. The Tropican house of tomorrow is built with standards. It is you, my friends, who I thank for making me what I am today. I am proud to be your Presidente. Viva Tropico!
The actual election will be held 1 year after its announcement. Until then, you still have the possibility to raise your support by pushing faction standings or bribing faction leaders. Loyal Penultimo will come once more before the election and offer to rig the elections in your favour, guaranteeing you a certain victory at the cost of losing more people to the rebels after the election. So we now need to win the election. by any means necessary. That damn opera house. So we reduce the budget of the tavern so that more people can afford to drink. I like it. I'm not sure it's quite the kind of island I want to be living on right now. Maybe we could do some more housing. Bunkhouses for all. Just for people who want a bunkhouse right next to the watchtower. So they can have someone spying on them 24 hours a day. But we promised more bunkhouses. That's what we're going to do. So we're just waiting for the months to tick over until the election here. For this tutorial. Election day in 6 months? Gonna wait another 6 months?
I'm sure the good citizens of Tropico intend to vote for you, Presidente. I myself intend to vote for you many, many times.
But can we trust the citizens to vote correctly? I wouldn't want them to wake up on the day after the election in a state of confused regret. We'll allow them to vote freely. I trust them. I trust them to do the right thing. Let's get rid of a few more of these bunkhouses while we're at it. Sorry, get rid of a few more of these shacks. More bunkhouses. So we are now approaching election time.
The election is a landslide, Presidente. The metaphorical kind, not the kind that accidentally reduces the size of the workforce.
The outcome was never in doubt. The people love their Presidente almost as much as your loyal Penultimo does. And of course I have a present for you. Your very own wartime Medal of Valor for courage, selflessness and electability. It is made of chocolate, so be careful in the sun. Paid healthcare, yep, very important. Marriage rights, okay. Give the wealthy citizens the right to vote. I like it.
Keeping all the factions sweet is the key to political success. It is also impossible, which is why politics is such good fun.
Just try and keep all the political plates spinning, and if you do drop one, sweep up the pieces and claim that you meant to do it. The good news is that the factions will tell you when they're unhappy. It does take some of the guesswork out of it all. And on to the next.
Government. This is loyal Penultimo's specialist subject. I have all the specs and diagrams at home.
Of course, I learned everything from the greatest politician of all time, you. It is a pleasure to watch you work. May I video it? No, that is too creepy. Of course, you know best. A major fun part of being a dictator is coming up with new rules, issuing edicts, and changing the constitution for a bigger impact. But one step at a time. To research, we first need a building that generates knowledge. You have my brain. We do not need buildings. All the knowledge is up here under my hat. Hint, if you have the funds to spare, you can use the quick build function on a construction site to finish its construction right away without waiting for the construction workers. So, we need a library. Media and education centres. Okay, so let's have a look at the various ones here. So we have a newspaper. Publishes propaganda affecting the citizens. Yeah, there we go. That's pretty much a newspaper. You got that right on there. Library. Generates knowledge. High school provides education to uneducated citizens. College provides a college level education to citizens with a high school education. So they have got to go to high school. You can't just jump straight to college, right? Our radio station increases the liberty in the area. Broadcasts propaganda affecting workers at their workplaces. But I'm guessing to unlock the other stuff you need to get the education levels raised. So let's build a library. Let's keep the library away from the quarry up there. The library by the beach sounds a good idea. I mean, who doesn't want this, right? Let's just wait on the workers to get to work here. Get our library built. Oh, here we go. One brand new spanking library. To work in a library, a Tropican needs to have a high school education. Other workplaces may even require college education. You can build high schools and colleges to qualify your people over time. For now, we want educated workers quickly, so let's request some from abroad. Invite a foreign worker to the library. Hiring foreign workers gets more expensive every time. Better to only use it in times of need and to construct education facilities early on. Ah! My mouse! No, where are you going? Come back! Zoom out, zoom out! My mouse has gone a bit of a bender there. There we go, that's what we wanted. A more top-down view of our fantastic library. So we click on the library. And we have a look at the workers. And we want to hire a foreign worker. So left click. $250, well spent. Okay, so what am I missing here? What am I missing? Do I just have to just wait? Is it a case of waiting for a worker to turn up?
You look kind of familiar.
There we go.
Let me be.
Okay, so it just takes time. We just have to fast forward it a bit. The library workers generate knowledge that you can spend to research new regime tools like building work modes, constitution amendments and edicts. Select any researchable item to have it researched. You can also select multiple items and add them to a queue to be researched one after the others automatically. So research wealth tax. So you go to the research tab. Here's all the things we can research. We're going to choose wealth tax. You gain $5 for every rich or filthy rich adult each month. Tax the rich, always good. It decreases capitalist standing by 20. Yeah, because, you know, they want money. Capitalists always want money and you want their money. So there's clearly going to be that conflict of interest going on there. But it increases the communist standing by 15. Commies love the money being shared out, or at least commies love me getting all the money. Knowledge required, 84. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, knowledge shouldn't be long now. They're working away in the library. There you go. It took them about 2 months to work out how to tax rich people. I'm sure I could work that one out a bit quicker than 2 months there, guys. How to tax the rich. Donald Trump hasn't worked that one out yet. Most edicts can be toggled on and off. By having them run for a certain time, those edicts can be leveled up, which decreases their running costs, improves their effect, or mitigates their negative effects. In contrast, some edicts have a fixed effect and can only be issued again after a cooldown time has passed. These cannot be leveled up. So issue the wealth tax edict and issue the industrialization edict. So we go to our edicts tab and go to wealth tax, which again it states we gain $5 for every rich or filthy rich adult each month. And the capitalists will hate us a bit, but it increases the communist standing by 15 and we'll make a bit of cash out of it, $2,500 maybe. Or is that how much we have to spend on it?
For some reason, other nations never quite manage to properly tax the wealthiest people.
It's true.
Tropico could make some sweet moolah by raising a tax that only affects the wealthiest citizens. It's free money in the treasury, and the only downside is the burning hatred of the capitalists. Besides,
That's acceptable.
the communists are likely to view this as rather hilarious.
So we have now issued this edict. Let's take a look at industrialization.
With a program for industrialization, we can plan far enough ahead to make money, but not so far ahead as to have to worry about environmental impact. With just one not-so-small upfront fee, we can slash the cost of building each and every new factory. It is not only a great way to boost the economy, but it also helps fill our skies with the pleasing wispiness of chimney smoke.
So this decreases the construction costs of all industrial buildings by 50%. And it runs for 2 years. So basically, we click on it and then we just build the ever-loving hell out of everything everywhere. The edict runs for 2 years and has a cooldown of 4 years. Okay, yeah. So basically, you're meant to plan ahead and go, okay, let's do lots of building. Edict, bam, get everything built. Cost $10,000. A great tool for pleasing factions and receiving gameplay bonuses is the Ministry. It allows you to assign ministers recommended by the various factions to the individual departments to boost the corresponding aspects of the Tropican nation. So we need to build a ministry and then appoint a minister for any of the departments. Oh, we can build. Ooh, we can build a dungeon for arresting people. So unlock the blueprint for $8,000 and then build a ministry. Appoint ministers suggested by political factions to improve the individual aspects of Tropican society or to gain illegal earnings from accepting bribes. So I'm always good on bribes. Where do we want our ministry to be? Main Island? What do you reckon? And we can have it next to the coal mine, because I don't care about ministries that much. There we go. Let's get this built. Thank you for the follow, Louis Alexander 23. I hope you're enjoying your first look at Tropico 6, which is going to be released tomorrow. Tomorrow. I managed to get hold of an early copy though. They very kindly gave me one to have a playthrough for a bit. Almost built. Haha, there we go. Oh, we need to hire a minister, of course, very important. Appoint a minister for any of the departments. So, here is the ministry. We have Department of Education, Department of Defence, Department of Economy, Department of Foreign Affairs, and Department of Interior. So in the Department of Economy, we can have a communist. Which reduces the construction costs of residential buildings. We can have a capitalist, which increases the efficiency of buildings on maximum budget by 7%. Well, we're never having maximum budget, right? So that, he literally does nothing. Or we can have a broker, who basically, you know, gets us bribes. Gets us $85 per month. Yeah, I'm good with bribes. We'll take that. Oh, cost him $2,000 to fire him, cheeky little guy. Cheeky little guy there. Era progression. There are 4 eras. The colonial era, the World Wars, the Cold War, and the modern times. Each symbolised by the small icon in the lower left corner next to the current date. Okay, there we go. So mouse there, it says World Wars at the moment. To advance into the next era, you need to complete progression tasks. These activate automatically over time. Following their objectives will bring you into the next era. Now wait for the progression tasks to appear in the task tracker. This might be a good opportunity to increase the game speed. It's already on ×4, so we can't go any faster than that. But we do have to click the play button, very important, or we'll be waiting for some time if we don't do that. Ooh, a progression task. Usually you have to complete a series of progression tasks in order to reach the next era. For tutorial purposes, we shortened it down to the click of a button. The main takeaway is that you can ultimately decide for yourself how long to stay in each era. Eras introduce new gameplay mechanics, additional internal and external parties that will try to manipulate you for their own agenda. Isn't that just the way? And they unlock new buildings and governmental tools to help you develop and rule Tropico. Sure, okay.
The wars are over, Presidente. I would kiss you if it was not treason to do.
Oh. Just got interrupted there, I guess. Starting with the World Wars, Tropico has a constitution. Every time you progress to the next era, you need to decide on a new mandatory constitution topic. Additional constitution topics are optional and can be unlocked later via research. The constitution can only be renewed several years after signing it, after the elections on public demand, blah blah, or when progressing to a new era. So, we have a Constitution tab. We click on the Constitution tab. And we have the one of voting rights comes up. Do we have all citizens are allowed to vote? Do we have only wealthy citizens can vote? Only citizens with an economic wealth, blah blah blah. Broke and poor citizens' chance to turn rebel is increased by 10. The electorate shall consist of all those citizens who have demonstrably proven Yeah, only the wealthy, right? Poor people, all we have to do is build more taverns for them. Just get them drunk, they'll be fine. Consists of all citizens who have demonstrably proven their merit by virtue of their substantial contributions to both the provision of employment and the tax revenue of the nation of Tropico, and thus earned the right to vote by ballot to determine the position of president. Or do we have any open ballot elections? Employees of governmental buildings vote for El Presidente regardless of their approval. Those with an approval below 45% might turn rebel, with a chance of this increased by 10. Those ballots cast to determine the position of president being of such importance to the sovereignty of the nation of Tropico shall be made a matter of public record. Oh, okay. Yes, right. So every government employee, we learn how they vote, and of course they're going to vote for you or risk a quick trip to jail. Armed forces. Are we a pacifist state? This disables all military buildings, decreases the rebel threat build-up by 75%, increases the standing with all the superpowers by 10. The nation of Tropico, being committed to the peaceful conduct of all nations, hereby renounces any and all title to declare war, grant letters of marque and reprisal, and to raise and support armies, navies, or armed forces. Okay, or do we want a militia? Soldiers require no education. Well, can't really argue with that one. In case of military conflicts, each barracks will provide one militia squad. It is the sovereign duty of the nation to provide for calling forth the militia to execute the laws of the Union, suppress the insurrections, and repel invasions. And this being so, no soldier shall be prevented from serving Tropico through lack of possession of any specific certificate of education. Or do we have professional soldiers? Soldiers are required to have at least a high school education. Damage of squads is increased by 10%. Militarists' standing is increased by 10%. The militarists love the fact that they have to get an education. So we will go with that one. We need our soldiers to be educated. Ecology, 0 emissions. Decreases the pollution of industrial buildings by 75%, and it decreases their efficiency by 10%. Industrialist standing is decreased. So the industrialists don't like the fact that we're not polluting our earth. I mean, I do quite like the idea of living on a clean island. You know, I might be the president, but I still want to live in paradise, right? Do we have energy efficient? So it decreases the power consumption of industrial buildings by 20%, decreases efficiency of industrial buildings by 5%, and their pollution by 5%. The upkeep of industrial buildings is decreased by $5. Or do we have economy first? I think this is known as the American way, right? Increases the efficiency of industrial buildings by 10%. Increases the pollution of industrial buildings by 50%. Oh, yeah, let's just get that smoke everywhere. Given the primacy of the invisible hand of the marketplace, the government hereby avows to render translucent and diaphanous any and all regulations of restraint applicable to those businesses and corporations upon whom the commercial prosperity of Tropico rests, including and not restricted to those limiting effluents, contaminants, or adulterations. We'll take energy efficiency for that one. separation of powers. Is there going to be no separation? Citizen action costs are decreased by 90%, except for bribes. Global liberty is decreased by 5. Do we have official separation? A courthouse is required to be able to issue citizen actions. 20% of interaction costs are transferred to the Swiss bank account. The bribe action is not affected. Or do we have true separation? El Presidente cannot issue citizen actions, except for bribes, which increases the global liberty by 5%. All done. Governing Tropico is not only about ruling the country and your people, but also about finding your place amongst the leaders of the world and standing your ground. Every era introduces its own set of global superpowers that will make demands in exchange for improving your relations. Very similar to dealing with internal factions. In contrast to the factions, superpowers do not affect the opinions of your people, but will support or oppose you in the fields of diplomacy, trade, and even war. So, to do that, we need to build an embassy. We need to invite an Eastern Bloc person to the embassy, and then ask them for financial aid. Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes a lot of sense. Here you go. We have to unlock the blueprint, sure. Costs cash. Cash money. And we are going to build the embassy. They can go on the other side next to the coal mine. There we go. You can be, we can have just them digging away, getting the ore, and just going straight past the embassy every day. That's how we do things. All right. Invite a superpower. We want one from the Eastern Bloc. And then we need to ask them for a bit of financial aid. Won't let me ask financial aid yet. Do I have to wait a bit longer? Maybe so. Requires relations 71, and currently we have.
Governance is your vocation, Presidente.
There we go.
Your calling. The people cannot govern themselves. They are too small. They need you.
It is a sacred covenant. You sacrifice everything to lead them. It's true. Except for riches, power, and anything else you want. And in return, they do as you say. And together, all benefit. Ooh, that was a very loud seagull. That seagull scared the hell out of me then.
Cars, boats, telepheric gondolas. Your mighty arm reaches everywhere, but the people, they must be transported.
Of course, this is fraught with danger. Poorly built roads create unplanned happenings. While bridges are deliberately built over troubling waters, elevators, they are so obviously traps. Presidente, without you, the people would never get anywhere. At some point, you may wish to expand across the sea, for instance, to build an oil well over the oil deposit on the volcano island. The best way to expand to other islands is to construct a landing area. It will allow your construction workers to travel to the new island and erect additional buildings. So we need to build a landing area on the volcano island and then build an oil well. Whoop. So as you can see, there's the volcano island there. This looks like a landing area right here, doesn't it? I think we need to zoom in first. Aha, so you wanted to build it here. Now, how are they going to construct it, though, with all the tools on the other island? That's suspicious. Very interesting. Come on, build my landing. I'm sure a boat's going to turn up soon, right? Oh, is this boat? This boat here? No, no, he's off. He's off doing his own thing. Goodbye. He's taking goods elsewhere. Well, I've built the landing. Well, I've tried to build it. Ah, here we go. Here come the boats. Wow, they're slow workers. You took like 6 months. Well, what kind of dictatorship do you think I'm running here? This is not acceptable. An oil well. Okay, so where is this oil? Where is the oil? For our oil well. Oh, okay, so we've got two here. So we'll zoom in on the appropriate area. Oil's well, the Thames well, as I like to say. And then build an oil well that can face that way. Let's zoom in on that bird. You keep flying around in a circle. Where's he off now? Oh, he's checking out the oil well. The bird's really interested in that oil well. And just like that, he's off. Off doing his own thing. Here we go. Let's get this oil well built, chaps. The operating range of Teamsters is limited, so the Teamsters, they're the people who move all the goods around, in case you weren't here from the start. is limited to the road network they are connected to. In order to ship goods from one island to another, you need Teamster ports. Create a Teamster port on the volcano island, and then connect the oil well to the Teamster port with a road. Instead of building one from scratch, you can refit the landing to a Teamster port. Well, we've already made the road because I'm smart and I've thought of that. So let's refit it. Now that was fast. Tropicans commute a lot between their homes, their jobs, and all the buildings they visit to satisfy their happiness aspects. Improving the time it takes them not only makes them happier, but also improves your economy. Travel time is idle time. Starting in the World War eras, you can build bridges to connect close islands with each other more efficiently, but also at a higher cost. So we want to connect the Center Island Road to the Volcano Island roads by building a bridge. Build a bridge by dragging the road placement tool towards the sea. Ah, okay, so the building's in the way here, so we would need to build it to there first, and then okay, so the bridge needs to can't start a bridge, really. Where do we have to build this bridge then? Help me out here, damn it. Uh-huh. There we go, well that's done it. Construct a parking deck on the center island and on the volcano island, connected to the same road network. Let's build a bit of road first. Parking deck allows rich citizens and all tourists to access and park cars or taxis. It does emit pollution and decreases crime safety around the area. I wish to rotate. There we go. There we go. And have the other parking deck around here. Yeah, let's have it over here. Depending on the country and the individual economic wealth, not everyone can afford using a car. It's true. To provide faster travel for less prosperous citizens, there are some public transportation options like buses, telepheric and metro. Let's establish a bus line, allowing the people living near the oil well to visit the buildings on the centre island. So for that we need a bus garage. And then we need to establish a bus line with one stop on the centre island and the other one on the volcano island. Bus garage. Go, construction workers. I choose you. So we need to place a starting bus stop. So the bus stop should obviously be next to the pub. Should be next to the tavern. If it's not next to the tavern, why do you have a bus stop? Now the tavern's down here. So we can have, I reckon, the bus stop. Oh no, we have a tavern here. Oh, definitely we're having the bus stop right here then. And it should be right next to the old oil workers. You make the buses free I think you've got to make the buses free, right? It's just one of those things. Buildings from later eras are increasingly depending on electric power and will not work properly until enough power is provided. It's true. You are going to build a power plant. Since it requires coal to function, you need to first build a coal mine and place the power plant close to it, and add another Teamster's office to handle the transport. And we're doing this on Waterfall Island. Remember that construction workers need to be able to reach the Waterfall Island first, so you either require a landing or a bridge connection. This is starting to get tricky. Okay, so this is Waterfall Island, and ooh, some nice little Aztec buildings there. I like it. So we're gonna have to build a bridge. I like bridges. Bridges are good. There we go, so we've got our road now. So here we have 2 spots for coal. Come on, there go the construction workers. Let's get this coal mine built. We don't have all day here. We've got deadlines, damn it. Here we go. Get over to that coal mine. Oh. There we go. Look at that. Ah, speed belts. We've got a few shacks being built there as a result. Can't be doing with that. Need some houses for those shacks. More bunk houses. No, we can't sneak it in there, unfortunately. Ooh. Well, if we... can fix my mouse here. We'll build the office there. High priority, damn it. Let's get that built. Chop chop. And we need a power plant. Processes the coal to supply electrical power. So you can see the shack that was built just round the back there, that's been dismantled now because the people have a place to live because I have built a bunkhouse. Very important to have affordable housing for your workers at the coal factory. Let the poor have somewhere to live. Power producing buildings feed the electricity into the power grid around them. Only buildings inside this grid will be supplied with electricity. Overlapping power grids will merge into one, accumulating produced power as well as the consumption. So make sure to not have more power consumed than you are producing. Yeah, you don't want to brown out. It's very true. Buildings with insufficient power supply are inoperable. Ooh, construct an arcade on Waterfall Island. Construct an arcade on Volcano Island. And construct an electric substations to connect the Volcano Island to the power grid and supply all arcades with power. Construction, entertainment. Amusement arcade provides fun to visiting citizens and tourists. Preferred by children. Visitors must be well off or better. Okay, so it's, again, screw the poor. Beach arcade it is. So we need one on Volcano Island as well. So we just need to fast forward time until this this arcade is built. Then we can build the next one. These construction workers, they're very diligent. They never stop working. And now we need to connect the power. Electric with an electric substation. Expands the electrical power grid coverage. Does, in fact, emit pollution. We need more housing. Because we have more shacks being built over there, as you can see just here. We need to connect Volcano Island. Question is, can the construction workers reach this, or do I have to build a road? Might need a cheeky road. Oh no, it's being built. There we go. Okay, so we've got supply all arcades with power. We need to build one more electric substation. Here come the workers. Get to it. This substation building. Ooh. Ooh. So I need another substation in the middle to connect them both, right? Right, that's going to be it. Oh. So it has to be within this. So it has to be around here, right? So it extends the coverage. I'm hoping this works. I'm hoping I've understood the problem.
Transportation is what cities of the future need. Actually, it is what cities of the present need. Who knows about the future?
Just remember parking decks for cars, public transportation for everyone, and make sure there's enough power to keep everything moving.
Tourists, Presidente. Unlike our citizens, they pay you money for everything and disappear without any reasonable and proportionate secret police intervention.
Alas, Tropico does not yet have everything it needs to pull in these overseas punters. Let us make places to stay, things to visit, and most importantly, ways for tourists to arrive without seeing the generous poverty of our own citizens. No one wants to start their vacation on a bummer. Starting with the Cold War era, you may lure visitors from other countries to Tropico, making tourism a legitimate alternative way of making money. Tourists will spend their whole vacation visiting entertainment buildings and resting at their accommodation. So to do this, we need to build Cabana Village on Waterfall Island, build a scenic outlook on Waterfall Island, increase the beauty of the Cabana Village by placing decorative objects, and increase the beauty of the scenic outlook by placing decorative objects there as well. Many tourism-related buildings get a bonus to their efficiency when placed in areas with a high beauty value. Decoration objects can increase the beauty in their vicinity. So, tourism. A Cabana Village. A good quality tourist accommodation with 6 rooms. Preferred by thrill-seeking tourists. Guests must be well off or better. Well, yeah, we don't like the poor. So here's the various beauty spots. As you can see, the more green it is, the better. So, beach good. Waterfalls good. I guess we go for the beach. Here we go. A wonderful little seaside apartment, beachside apartment next to this big dirty railway bridge. Railway bridge? Regular bridge. So, now build a scenic outlook. So they're all going to live in huts. A couple of people get a square hut. Everyone else gets circular huts. And there's a nice little pool, little kiddies side pool there. You know, because you can't trust them in the big pool. Ooh. The second requirement for tourists to book a trip to Tropico is a matching means of transport. Tourists will not travel on regular freighters, but either arrive via ship, on the tourist dock, or via plane at an airport. The chosen work mode of these buildings limit the number and economic wealth of tourist families that come with each vessel. So we're definitely having a tourist port, we're not doing planes here. Boats all the way. Oh, okay, you're forcing me to have it here. Okay, I'll let you off. You want it here. There we go. Game was being awkward there. I want it up here, damn it. Near our coal power station. Ooh, I see a dolphin. Click. Let's run off. Run off? Swam off. There we go, no excuse for the workers now. So in the game settings, I've selected the streamer-friendly music. So there's a little option. Only play stream-safe music. No chance of getting your videos demonetized. I like it. I've thought it through. If you were wondering why some of the music was quite generic. Tourist types, now you are set, and the first batch of tourists will arrive with the next tourist ship. Tourists are not so different from your own citizens. Their economic wealth is at least well off, and they only have two happiness aspects: accommodation and entertainment. Every tourist has limited time on Tropico and will depart when it's over, so they want to get as much out of it as possible. In general, tourists enjoy variety and become bored by visiting the same attractions over and over. Also, each tourist belongs to one of different types that prefers certain accommodations or attractions. So we need to wait for the tourist to arrive and inspect the info panel of a tourist. Ah, this most certainly looks like a tourist cruise ship coming into port. There we go. Alrighty, let's zoom in on this, have a look at our happy people. Oh, they're gonna walk along the beach. I don't blame them. Yeah, we don't have a bus service yet. So, into the accommodations they go. They all have Western names. Jacob Sullivan.
I got mugged again.
Thoughts must pass out. This is Tropico. Where are all the fun things? We need more fun things, more entertainment. Every tourist will rate their vacation in Tropico. It is based on their accommodation and their entertainment happiness, as they receive modified by the variety and the specific tastes of their tourist type. When departing, this rating will be added to a global rating for their type. The better the rating, the more tourists are willing to spend their vacation in Tropico. Tourist ratings can even be affected by your politics, as some edicts and constitution options make Tropico more or less attractive for visitors. Open and inspect the ratings on the tourism tab in the almanac. Tourists really don't like their spending their vacation in a country that is at war. Yeah, you don't see Syria with much in the way of tourism these days. We'll give it a big budget for Cabana Village. We want people to be happy here. Ooh, a minibar. Yeah, we'll put a minibar, definitely. One of the great mysteries of the world is why the Cabana Village's combination of faux tribal roofing and tiny bedrooms says good time and not cheaply built. Only the one tourist accommodation though. Tourism and entertainment buildings often offer work modes to specialise in servicing a certain tourist type or changing the required economic wealth level. You should try orienting your accommodations and entertainment buildings towards one or two tourist types for a start. Changing the budget will increase the fee for each visitor, the fee each visitor has to pay, and tourists have to pay more than the locals. To exploit this, you can exclude Tropicans via a checkbox setting on individual entertainment buildings. Set the arcade on Waterfall Island to tourists only. Fantastic. Loving it.
Tourists. They are annoying, and they are garishly dressed, but they come with money that they want to spend, and that makes them our friends.
Very true. Just remember tourist ports to get them in, tourist accommodations to put them in, and tourist traps to pack them in. On to the next tutorial chapter.
Criminals and rebels. Ugh. But not the boy sick at the thought of people not paying you taxes for any reason.
Oppressed citizens will become rebels and later join the guerrillas that are planning to overthrow you. Unemployment motivates people to become criminals, draining money from the system. Foreign spies planted by superpowers support the guerrillas. Rebels, criminals, foreign spies, and worse. Their shared similarity is that they hide their true identities at first. All are potentially harmful, so uncovering them is the first step if you want to deal with them. Watchtowers will randomly uncover the hidden roles of citizens nearby, while security checkpoints check vehicles passing through them. So have some security checkpoints next to parking docks on the centre island. Have 2 watchtowers in residential districts on the centre island, and uncover the hidden role of rebel and criminal. So we go to construction, military, security checkpoint. So where is the parking dock? Watchtowers. Excellent. Apart from arresting, killing and bribing, you can also institutionalize individual citizens. Some interactions are only available for citizens with certain roles like rebel leaders or crime lords. But be aware of the potential consequences. The target person and their family will remember what you did to them. Like criminals, rebels will never lose their role on their own, turning them into ticking time bombs when they are roaming free. So we can construct an asylum because they're clearly crazy. And institutionalize the rebel at the asylum. So those people lose their political views. Excellent, so we have built the asylum. And we're now going to have a look at the people. Take a look at these special citizens. We have some criminal scum and some rebels. One of them's inside the security checkpoint. Well, well. He's off to get some groceries.
Are you lost?
So we're going to institutionalize. We put an order to put this person into an asylum. The person gets an indifferent view on all political topics. Institutionalizing a faction leader has a chance of turning their moderate supporters indifferent. It decreases the approval of the institutionalized citizen's family, increasing the risk of them becoming rebels. So you see a rebel, you turn him into a good, upstanding member of society, but then his family become rebels, and you do that to them as well, until the whole family is pandering to your need. So very soon they will be arrested and stuck in the asylum. Oh, okay, so they're driving a truck for a living. Fantastic. Oh, where are they off now? There you go, the doctor's got him. The doctor's like, you're coming with us, I'm afraid. Off to the asylum for you. Didn't require any police. The doctors are that tough, you know. Off to sleep, nap time, syringe in your neck. There we go, the wonderful facilities. You'll love it here. Spend some time surrounded by flowers. Rebels are not arrested by the police, as they are no immediate threat. At some point though, if they grow in numbers, they will launch a punctuated attack on one of your buildings, setting it on fire. Afterwards, the assailants leave society and become guerrillas. Neil, what game is this? This is Tropico 6, which is coming out tomorrow on Steam. I've been given an early copy to have a bit of a playthrough, so I'm just taking a look at the introductory sort of learnings of the game, learning how to play. Yeah, it's not a card game, unfortunately, but it's still, you know, strategy based, right? Afterwards, the assailants leave society to become guerrillas. When rebels are attacking, you can move the camera to their target via the according newsfeed message. Witness a rebel attack and open the military strength overlay. Is it something going on here? The almanac provides an overview on the estimated strength and urgency of the rebel threats. Beware, if guerrillas feel powerful enough to take on your armed forces, they will stage a fully fledged uprising that aims to destroy the palace and end your rule. That's no good. If your military forces are too strong, they might not even try. Military buildings either deploy mobile squads that confront attackers or deal with nearby attackers themselves with mounted ordnance. Yeah, let's gun them down from a tower. Open the almanac and inspect the data on the rebellion on the conflicts tab. Build a couple of watchtowers. You can never have enough watchtowers if you want to repress citizens. Construct additional watchtowers on the centre island and have some barracks on the centre island. "12 rebels? It's unacceptable." And they've done a rebel attack on the power plant. That is shocking. So we need more watchtowers. We're going to have one near our little presidential palace over here. There we go, 2 watchtowers built. Now we need a barracks on the centre island. Oh, barracks, very important to have next to the presidential palace. Like the army, got to be able to defend me at a moment's notice. The rebels are starting an uprising, despite your armament efforts. Their target building is marked with a floating icon. This is also where your mobile troops are headed for defensive support. The defense will be coordinated automatically if there are multiple targets. You can manually mark one of the targets as priority to concentrate your mobile troops there. During times of war, tourists will avoid Tropico and civilians will flee from enemy troops. Defeat the attacking rebels. Need a bigger budget for the barracks.
There is a rebellion, Presidente. If these rebels want your attention so badly, they should make an appointment like everybody else.
But we should not underestimate the dangers posed by violent, heavily armed guerrillas, even if they were trained by a correspondence course. Please wear the bulletproof wig for a few days. Aha, so here come the rebels. Shooting at my watchtower. How rude. Where's an army when you need them? Here they come. Get to it, chaps. They've demolished my watchtower. This is unacceptable. They're after another watchtower now.
Penultimo is glad every day is not the revolution. Although every day the Earth revolves around its axis, so I suppose every day is a revolution.
Just remember, you can build security infrastructure to uncover those things people are trying to hide from you. Like being criminals or rebels or bad tasting underwear. And when all else fails, the military is always ready to open fire during an uprising or Cinco de Mayo festivities.
It is time for you to meet someone Penultimo does not consider a friend.
Do not worry, Presidente. He always has time for you, but do not trust him. He only loves money. You have a personal and semi-legal Swiss bank account. And then there is one person that will never demand anything from you, nor will he judge you for anything you do or don't do. That is the broker. The broker will politely come with a request once in a while. You can completely ignore those. You can even reject them without consequence, but if they are in line with what you are planning to do anyway, they are the best way to fill your Swiss bank account. There you go, military have dealt with the threat and are going back to base now. Ooh, got a general there. Just some regular schmoes. But I've lost a watchtower. So cruel. Less people being watched. Never good. So we just have to wait for a request. Let's build some more houses while we're waiting.
They call me the broker. I guess I had another name once. But you know what names are good for? They're good for getting you arrested, Presidente. Well, that's not my game. My game would be business. Which business? Hey, what have you got?
Let's talk realpolitik, Presidente, and by that I mean how we make money before your people rise up and depose you. It's very true. They're going to get rid of me at some point. I want to be rich by them. But let's be honest, we're both here to fill our Swiss bank accounts. And in the best case scenario, also not get caught. Not that the deals I'll be offering are in any way dubious. It'll usually be obvious just how illegal they are.
Now, I don't want to alarm you, but I'm going to need a rather prompt decision on these offers.
Don't worry on the whys and wherefores. Honestly, this time pressure is purely circumstantial. I'll have taken care of everything important before it matters, and of course I cover my tracks. Boost your relations with the USA, we don't care about that. Boost your standing with the environmentalists. Stimulate trade. Well, we'll increase our standing with the environmentalists, right? How can we best complete a broker request here? Generate a new trade route offer. So, increase the standing with the environmentalists, so maybe bribing them or something along those lines. Plus 10 USA standing. Can we do that? Nope. So what do I need to do here? Come on game, help me out here.
What use is power if you don't exercise it? It'd wither away like a muscle you weren't using. Disastrous.
Issue the nuclear testing edict for $10,000 into my Swiss bank account. So we go to edicts. And in the Cold War edict there is nuclear testing. You receive $100,000. It decreases standing with each faction by 15. Raises the healthcare threshold at which citizens can die by 10. But I get... okay, but we get $100,000 into our coffers to spend on things. And I personally get $10,000 with which to retire with at some time.
Want to make a quick buck? Superpowers will pay a tidy sum to conduct a few small thermonuclear tests. This is bound to be popular with the local residents, especially if you tell them radiation will give their skin a healthy glow and help them save money on haircuts. Everyone knows that this is the atomic age, and we wouldn't want Tropico to get left behind, would we?
You receive $100,000. Pisses off all of the factions. Gotcha.
I'm so glad I made this deal with you, Presidente.
You're probably wondering what you need a Swiss bank account for. I know what I need it for money. Well, there are some things ordinary money cannot buy, and coincidentally this is where the broker can help you out there as well. Once in a while he will present to you a selection of benefits from which you can choose one by paying him with money from your Swiss bank account. Like requests. The offers of the broker are without obligation. Activate any broker offer. Okay, so these are the offers. Image campaigns, better standing, and better standing with the environmentalists. Stimulate trade. Gotcha. And boost your personal image so that you can more likely to win the election. Sometimes you need to resort to unconventional means to help achieve your goals. This is where you use raiders to do your dirty work. Pirates, commandos, spies and hackers, all of them are children of their respective eras and have a dedicated building. While working, raiders generate raid points, which you require to send them on missions. Once a mission is started, the raiders gather and depart from Tropico for some time until they return successfully. Oh well, we definitely want a Pirate Cove. I think I said that a couple of hours ago. Pirate Cove is very important. And then we need to generate 2,000 raid points and complete a raid. So... Pirate Cove. Send pirates on raids to loot resources, or people, or on a heist to acquire a landmark. It unlocks the smugglers' trade routes, and it decreases crime safety nearby. Question is, where are we going to build it? Where are we going to build a pirate cove? Must be placed on a beach reaching onto the water. Now, there's got to be a certain place they want us to build this, right? So we just have to find it. Okay, okay. Gotcha. Let's have a nice pirate cove. And some more houses. More houses. Very important to raid all the local Caribbean islands for all of their resources. They're not allowed to have nice stuff if we can't have nice stuff. Raids in the Pirate Cove. We're going to do a treasure hunt. Randomly gain one of the following: available blueprint, available regime tool, $10,000, or 5,000 raid points, and this takes 6 months. And here's all the various things we can loot from the nearby islands. And if you want, you can halve the mission time by 50%. But there's a chance, you know, you'll lose some of your people. So we just have to wait the 6 months for this mission to be complete. Shouldn't be long now. Surely they gotta be coming back. Oh, here they come. There we go. The best thing raiders can do is steal famous world wonders from all over the globe. Compared to ordinary raids, these so-called heists take more time to complete, and always require you help out the raiders on their mission with resources or more time. Each world wonder has an individual and powerful global effect. Also, tourists just love world wonders, and even Tropicans want to visit them at least once in their lives. Unfortunately, most wonders are associated with certain superpowers, who will be displeased at being robbed. The different type of raiders have dedicated lists of world wonders, and each group can only steal one wonder per game. Ooh, we're going to steal Stonehenge, eh? Really? So we'll decrease the mission time by 50%. That makes a lot of sense. So, to the Pirate Cove we go. We have almost 7,000 raid points. We're going to do a heist on Stonehenge. This makes trees grow around the monument. This increases the renaturation rate, in which pollution is reduced over time. It increases all of the tourist ratings. It provides fun to visiting citizens and tourists. Now, I'm actually English, and Stonehenge is not fun. There is no fun to be had from Stonehenge. You literally walk over there, go, that's a rock balancing on top of two other rocks. Fascinating. And that's it. And that is Stonehenge done completely. There is no wealth requirement for visitors. I love the idea of physically stealing Stonehenge, though. Like, dig it up! Then once we've stolen Stonehenge, we have to build it somewhere. Why not build it in England? I hear that's a pretty good place. I like how it's uneducated people stealing Stonehenge as well. You don't need to be smart. How are we doing then with Stonehenge? How's it going? 12 months, you say? Fantastic. We just sit about watching the months tick by in the bottom left of the screen. While we listen to some Caribbean music. Right, we've got to be getting close to being finished now. Surely. Surely we should be seeing our boat come back. Here it is, here it comes. Yeah.
We've done it. The rocks rolled off the deck and onto the dock.
Now, none of me men are literate, so there are no written instructions for how to put Henge back together. But I drew some pictures. You just need to attach lintel P to standing stone I using the diagram on page 8. Then attach ropes, which were not included. So, let's construct in the world wonders Stonehenge. Airlift those stones.
Presidente, as promised, I do indeed gasp in awe at the effortless way in which you completed my workout.
There is nothing more penultimate can offer you but the limitless depths of my loyalty. You remain a flawless specimen of leadership perfection. So let us waste no more time and get back to making you as rich and powerful as only you deserve to be. Awesome. So that was the tutorial in full, which took three, maybe four, maybe almost 4 hours. I'm liking it. Now there are, obviously you can set yourself a game, but there are also missions in the game that you can do here. So obviously you have to beat a set scenario, which is quite good. Or you can just do the sandbox thing, picking a random island from one of the many types of islands. You can set the size, obviously the land mass, how much water to land you wish to have, the type of balance, and also you can just set a random seed as well. So anyone who wishes to play the same island as you can just pick the same seed and just copy the code there. And how do you win the game if you want to have a win condition in the game? Now, all of these things, obviously, when the game is officially released tomorrow, you will be able to do the multiplayer option as well. Obviously, nobody else is playing right now because the game hasn't been released yet. But you can create a game, and then obviously you have your island, everyone else has their island, and then of course you're all competing for the same tourists and things like that. And maybe, I don't know, but maybe you can even steal off the other islands through the raids and stuff like that. Maybe steal their world wonder, I've no idea. So as you can see, like on the actual screenshot here, they've stolen the the Eiffel Tower there. Yeah, we'll just have one of those there, parked on our little tropical island. Why the hell not? But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. I thought it's a pretty interesting game. It's going to be interesting to See how popular it is tomorrow. I know it's available on Steam. I don't know about any other platforms other than Steam. Generally, I've always used Steam myself, although I do have an Epic Games account now. But yeah, I think what we can do is just have a quick look at the price of it in the store. There we go. £35.99. Let's just load it up here. Which I think is pretty standard for a AAA title nowadays. So, yeah, we'll be able to pick this up from the Steam store tomorrow. Or, you know, if you're watching this video on YouTube, you can pick it up 3 weeks ago, depending on when you're actually watching the video. Yeah. There we go. Can't really play a bit more than that right now, because I think it's quite a long game, and I certainly don't have, you know, 20 hours or whatever to start playing it through there. But oh, that was a loud seagull again. But yeah, there I am. I thought that was quite a good likeness of me for those of you who didn't see the Presidente I came up with. Do I need the grey hair? He's still got the brown hair there. We need to fix this. Yeah, apparently that's grey. That's never grey in a million years. That is not grey hair. That is clearly brown hair, even though this says grey. There we go. Green hair. Ugh. So as you can see, perfect likeness. I've even got the side parting on the hair. I mean, if that is not the same person, I don't know what is. I'm just gonna let's fix this up here. Now, it's just like, it's exactly the same, isn't it? It's no difference whatsoever. There we go. I think I've done a sterling effort there, copying myself. Quite beautiful. Shirt, everything, goatee, grey hair. Pipe, I don't own a pipe. I could do maybe with getting myself a pipe. We could lose the pipe. Or we just take the hat, you know. I mean, the hat needs a bit of work. I don't have a Panama hat, unfortunately. But I think everything else is pretty good. I should really just start using this as my actual... Look, he's reverted to the brown hair again. We don't want the brown hair. I really need to take a screenshot of that and just maybe turn it into a Twitch emote. Anyway, guys, oh, sorry to the new viewers that you just tune in as I'm finishing there, but you know, you've always got the VOD to watch if you want to actually see what Tropico 6 is like, available tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for all checking you out. What I'm going to do for you is find someone else who's just quickly playing the game. There should be a few other people out and about also playing Tropico 6 on Twitch right now. So maybe we can find somebody who's having a game right now. Here we go. Right, I shall thank you for watching, and if you want to watch a bit more Tropico 6, just hang on right there, and they shall be right with you. Thank you guys, and good night.